You know the moment when you've been learning English for years, but somehow you're still thinking that your brain forget faster than it learned. You've tried different app, you've tried grammar book, and you've tried flashcard, but the word don't stick longer in your head. And then you start wondering, maybe I'm just not talented in this work. I used to feel that too until I found an old book written back in 1918 by a man who discovered the real code behind how our brain remember words. No apps, no memorizing, just pure psychology, how memory and rhythm work together. When I tried his method, I feel like everything started to make sense. Yes, I'm started remember word in English longer than it learns, and yes, English began to flow naturally, like I was thinking, not translating. So in this video, I'm going to share what I learned from Paul Pimsleur, the psychology who decoded secret pattern of how humans truly learn languages. Because if you've ever felt stuck, this might be the missing pieces you've been looking for. Paul Pimsleur was a linguist and also a psychologist. He wanted to answer a simple question like, how do some people remember words and others forget it right away? He studied memory patterns, how people forget, and what helps the brain keeps a sound, rhythm, and a phrases alive. He believes that language learning is not about talent. He said that anyone can master language not by talent but by understanding how our brain absorbs information. That belief changed everything for me because I used to think that I wasn't smart enough to be fluent. But now I can understand that it's not about me. Maybe it's just the method I used. The whole idea of his book can be summed up in one sentence. Learning a language is not about memorizing words. It's about training your ears and memory to think in a rhythm with another culture. And you know, that line stuck with me because that's what we forget now. You know that we always change grammar chart and vocabularies, but we forget what language really is, sound and rhythm. So here's the 12 code of Pimsleur language method. One is start with the ears, not eyes. Most learners start by writing and reading, but Pimsleur said that's backward. The ear must lead the eye, and all word must heard before it's seen. Language is sown before it becomes text. It's like the baby learn. They don't read milk. They heard that word, and only later they learn how it looks. So train your ear first. You learn how it sounds, the rhythm, the melody, the music of English. Let the sound alive in your brain before spelling appear. The second method is learn phrases, not words. When you memorize single word, your brain keeps them floating unconnected. But Pimsleur said, word live in the sentence, not in isolation. So learn them where they breathe. That means learn with John, like I've been meaning to, or could you help me with? When you learn a phrase, your brain doesn't only learn the word, but your grammar, emotion, and yes, so it makes you flow more naturally in that language. So next time you want to learn vocabulary and make vocabulary lists, stop. Don't do that. Just start with write a sentence instead. That's how fluency grows naturally. The third method is the anticipation principle. Recall, don't repeat. This is my favorite one. Pimsleur discovered that real learning happens in silence. That tiny moment when your brain struggles to remember something. He said that to learn effectively, the learners must recall, not repeat. When you try to remember before hearing the answer, your brain creates strong memory. Your brain creates strong memory connection. So that's why in his audio lesson, you hear a question, then silent. That pause isn't empathy, it's when your brain grows. Psychology calls this active recall. Every time you reach for a memory, you strengthen it. It's like exercising a muscle. You don't just repeat after a teacher, but pause and recall. Let your brain struggle a little. That's where the learning's magic hides. Fourth method. This one feels like science and magic mixed together. Pimsleur found that memory fades in predictable ways. If you recall a word right before you forget, you strengthen it forever. Recall strengthens memory. Repeating only postpone forgetting. That's the logic behind spaced repetition. You know the apps like Anki, but Pimsleur was already doing it decades before computers. So instead of repeating the same lesson for hours, yes, just review smartly. Come back after a few hours, then one day, then 3 days later. That's how your brain builds durable connection through time, not tension. Five is the emotional factor. Curiosity over intelligence. So he believed that emotion fuel more than intelligence ever could. What counts is not a high IQ, but a high desire to understand. That means your love to learn that language. It's your biggest strength. When you are curious, when you enjoy the sound of English, your brain takes the experience as important. The sixth method is avoid word list trap. Lists teach you spelling, not speaking. You think that more vocabulary lists make you productive, but it just makes you sound unnatural in that language. I used to do this, like I make a bunch of words in one list like that, but when I tried to speak, my mind went blank. That's because I was memorizing without context. Instead, Pimsleur said, take small real-life sentence and replay the for example, I'll get back to you. Yes, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. Use it in 10 different situations. That's how your brain connects meaning, sounds, and memory. The seventh method is speak from day one. Small, but correctly. You must hear yourself speaking at first. That's when the sound becomes yours. He didn't mean long sentence or pressures. He meant repeating short, correct phrases. Because hearing your own voice in English creates strong confidence and strong memory. So don't wait to be perfect. Speak small, say what you can, and listen to how it sounds. Because that's how your accent and rhythm begin to shape naturally. The eighth method is learn the culture with the language. You cannot truly learn a language without learning to think as its people do. This part really touched me. He believed culture and language are like a body and soul. You can't separate them. So when you study English, notice how people joke, how they apologize, and how they express warmth or sarcasm. Those moments teach more than grammar ever could because language lives in people, not page. The ninth method is forget talent. It's about method. Pimsleur said that language learning is not a gift. It's a behavior anyone can acquire. That means fluency isn't luck, it's the sight. If you use your brain the right way, you will get a result. So stop telling yourself you were not good at the language. You are. You just need to follow the natural rhythm your brain understands. The 10 method is keep it short but consistent. Daily connect is the secret of progress, and a long session lead to exhaustion. This one is simple but powerful. You don't need 5 hours to dedicate yourself to learn that language. You just need small, consistent moments every day. 3 minutes of focused learning is more powerful than 3 hours once a week because your brain prefers frequency over intensity. That's how habits stick. small, daily, and gentle. The 11th method is make mistake but don't memorize them. Errors are signal, not sin. Paul Pimsleur believed that mistakes are feedback, not failure. When you notice you were wrong, you were actually getting smarter because your brain updates its pattern. Just correct early. Don't repeat mistake again and again. That's how you grow fast without fossilization error. And the last method is build confidence through understanding. A leader understood is worth more than much memorized. You don't have to speak fast. You just have to speak comfortably. Fluency isn't about calm understanding. The moment English stops feeling like a test and start feeling like a voice inside you, that's fluency. At the end of his book, Pimsleur said something beautifully. Learning a language is learning to live another life. And I remember that every song, every phrase is building a new life in me. Tell me in the comment which Pimsleur principle do you want to try first. I'd love to know your story. If you like this video talking in my backyard, yes, just sharing all my experiences learning English by myself. Please subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who's still struggling to reach fluency in English and see ya in my next video. Bye bye.